What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will be revisiting our good old friends at the LGBTQ plus community because we talk about everything on this channel. You know, it's not always race and culture and all that stuff. So, as I've said in previous videos, and I will say it again, I personally have no issues with anyone in their community. I have met plenty of cool gay men over the years. I haven't really met any like real lesbians for whatever reason. I did know quite a few girls though that like after high school and in college they went through like this whole little bi-curious phase, which to me was just kind of stupid. I think they were just over men at the moment, so they decided, oh, I'm gonna date girls now. But of course, all of them are with men now, so I don't count them. And I have met a few trans women. I've done makeup on a trans woman before. Haven't met any trans men. But anyway, so, you know, I am open-minded. I think I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to many things. And, you know, I do try to understand other people's point of views and to listen to their experiences. However, like I've said before, like when it comes to race and other stuff, I'm not biased. And if I see some BS, I'm gonna call it out. So that's what I'm doing in this video. So, within the last couple of days, I've been seeing a lot of talk regarding women's periods and trans people. So, of course, you know, it caught my attention. And so, one of the first things I saw was that the company Always, which produces pads and tampons, decided to remove the Venus sign from its pad packaging, I think it was, to be inclusive of trans people. So of course, initially people were like, what? But trans people don't get periods. But it's like, no, this is the trans men, aka the biological women that identify as men but are still getting periods because they have not gone, I guess, under the gender reassignment surgery. So Always decided we're going to remove the symbol for women so that they feel included. So, when I first saw that, I was like, I don't understand what was the issue initially. Is it that the trans men don't like that they're being reminded that they're women? Like, I don't understand. So anyways, apparently it was like National Period Day or something crazy. I don't know, like yesterday or the day before. And I started seeing these posts talking about any gender can get their period, you know? And I'm like, what? Like we're back at this again. We're back at trying to distort biological truths and realities. Is that what we're doing again? Okay. So basically trying to imply that, you know, the difference between sex and gender, which okay, fine, I get it. But to say that any gender can get their period, no, that is entirely false. Biological women get periods. And a trans man getting their period just reaffirms the fact that they are biological women. They're still women. They may identify as men, but they are still biological women, okay? And then, like, yesterday I saw a video. It was from, who was it by? It was a BuzzFeed. I don't know who did it. But it was like a bunch of people saying that there is no such thing as biological sex, and you know, the whole that you're either born one sex or the other is false. I'm like, okay, y'all just trying to confuse the hell out of people at this point. Like, you guys realize this is not helping your cause at all. This is just making y'all look crazy. And I feel like all this stuff is really just erasing and devaluing the experiences of actual trans people that are seriously battling gender, what is it, dysphoria, whatever it's called, that are like actually really going through this with all these crazies speaking up for you guys. And I mean, if anybody listening to this video is trans, like I hope that you realize like some of these people that are trying to speak on your guys' behalves and that are trying to distort reality now, they're making y'all look crazy. So I hope that you guys call them out. Like, I mean, we all have people within our own communities, whether it's our racial communities, cultural communities, religious communities, that they try to speak out for us on our behalves, but instead they end up making us look bad. So I would hope, and I charge you guys, the ones that you guys that are not delusional, help your people out and I don't know, like help them realize that no, all genders cannot get a period. Biological women get a period, and if it is a trans woman, or a trans man, you're getting a period, is because you're still a woman. So that was like on the one end, but now on the other end, I'm also seeing that there have been apparently a lot of trans women, aka biological men, saying that they get periods, which I was like, what? What do you mean you're getting a period? Like you're bleeding every month? Like if you're bleeding on a regular basis, like you need to go see a doctor, okay? Because that is not normal. And it's like they're really making a fuss about this. And it's just I don't understand how it makes sense. So because you're a man that now identifies as a woman, so now all of a sudden you somehow got ovaries, you got a uterus, and you got fallopian tubes, you got all the inner workings of a biological woman, and you're not having a period. Make it make sense, okay? Like, I just don't understand where's the delusion coming from. And listen, if y'all don't want to hear me talk about it, fine. But look, listen to it straight from a trans woman, who I will include a clip of right now.
And in this video, I also want to talk about this argument used by a lot of people spamming and screaming, trans women are women. Just flat out, period, take it for what it is, blah, blah, blah. I want to talk about that sentiment as well. Brenda Demigirl says, anyone who says that trans women aren't women, I curse with the cramps and diarrhea I'm having today. Hashtag girls like us. Hashtag PMS. Hashtag trans women are women. Hashtag trans women PMS. Hashtag trans is beautiful. And I replied, trans women do not PMS. Your diarrhea seems to be due to the fact that you're full of shit. Because what? No, listen, I'm a trans woman, obviously. I grew up wanting to be a woman when I grew up, when I was younger. But I've never had to try to validate myself or, like, convince myself that I can PMS and can get my period. That's just impossible. We don't have ovaries. We don't have a uterus. Like, what? On to the Facebook group. The first post is, yes, transgender women get PMS every month. Tracy says, not all, but some do. You're halfway to the truth. The truth is just we don't, but okay. How do you convince yourself that you not only, as a biological male, which is what we are, PMS, and also sync up with your wife and your kids and whoever else? Like, what are you doing? What's her name? What are you doing, Samantha? Samantha? But honestly, this whole thing really had me thinking about this whole sentiment of trans women are women. I'm sure you've seen it on article headlines. I'm sure you've seen it splattered all over by allies and trans people all over social media. And I really want to talk about that because I feel like trans women are trans women. And just hear me out. Like, we're just going to go on a little roller coaster of thought process here, okay? I feel like as a trans woman, I'm a trans woman. I have a completely different set of experiences than biological women. One being, I don't have a menstrual cycle, obviously. You know, when I want to start a family, when I want to have kids, I've talked about it before, I'm going to have to go through a completely different process to do that because I'm not the same as a biological woman. And I don't feel invalidated by saying that. I've never had to delude myself into thinking that I am the exact same thing as a biological woman to make myself feel okay. I'm happy being a trans woman. I'm okay with it. I feel like I was born to be who I am now, and I don't have any issue with that. I see a lot of biological women on the internet sort of angry at the whole trans women are women mantra.
I'm a natural born motherfucking woman. I'm a woman, baby. You're a trans woman, okay? Cool, do you? But baby, I'm a fucking woman. You ain't gotta put no cis in front of me. I'm not cis nothing. I'm a woman. Point blank, period. I am a woman.
I can tell where the frustration lies. I feel like there is a certain set of experiences that women have that trans women do not have, and biological women don't want to feel like that's being erased or conflated necessarily. Honestly, while I don't agree with biological women attacking trans women and trying to make them feel like about them being trans, I do feel like there is a worthy conversation of saying that there are different experiences and we're allowed to talk about that. It's not bad to acknowledge that there's just differences.
So this girl, her name is Blair something. I have to say, she is one of the most grounded and like sane trans people I have ever seen on YouTube. She stands in her transness and whatever, but she's not delusional. Like she can what's the word? Like she can admit that she is a trans woman, but that she's still a biological man, and that it doesn't invalidate her or her experience by saying and admitting she's still a biological man at the end of the day. And my thing is, why is it that trans people feel like they have to change what the biological aspects are to being a man or being a woman in order to themselves feel validated? That's what I don't really get. Like, why can't we coexist? Like with trans women, for example, why can't us biological women and trans women coexist without them feeling like they have to change what it means to be a woman, or I don't know, trying to erase what makes us us. At the end of the day, there are biological and hormonal and emotional differences between being a woman and being a trans woman, and that's okay. Like, that is a point that I wish would get across to some of them. And of course, I know not all trans people think this way, but for the ones that are like really behind this pushing, trans women are women or trans men are men, which that's even more crazy to me. But it's like, no, we're not the same. We're simply not. And that's okay. It is okay for us to both exist and to own our identity. If you're a trans person, it's okay for you to be proud to be a trans person, but don't do it at the expense of trying to change what it means for us biological women to be women, and just, again, trying to distort reality, because at the end of the day, it's just making y'all look crazy, okay? All these posts I'm seeing, again, with the period thing, that any gender can get their period and that some men get their period, like, y'all are not helping your case at all. Like, I'm sorry, but you're not. So, I don't know. I'm open to having discussions with anyone, but right now, LGBTQ plus community, the T's are making y'all look kind of crazy right now, and I think y'all need to get them in check, okay? Like, because at this point, it's not even the fact that there's men that feel that they're women or women that feel that they're men. That's the crazy part. It's just them trying to rewrite biological scientific facts. That is what is now crazy, okay? Again, you don't need to change what it means or try and change what it means to be a biological man or a biological woman just to fit your narrative and to make yourself feel validated, okay? You don't have to do that.
Is there something called biological sex, and what does that mean?
Trans women are not biological men.
This idea that the body is either male or female is totally wrong. A trans woman is a woman. All of her body parts are female body parts.
The reality is that a trans woman's biology is a female biology.
And you guys, I know we're living in a time where it's like everyone feels the need to be included and represented and blah, blah, blah. And to an extent, like, I feel that that is great. I mean, y'all have heard me say it before. I've made a video even about why representation is important, and I still fully stand by that. And I do think that trans people and any members of this community, they need their own representation, but don't do it while overshadowing those of us that are not part of that community, okay? That is my word of advice, and I think that is one of the main gripes that heterosexual people have with members of this community, okay? Which reminds me also, I saw, some of you may have seen a video clip of the singer Tank talking about, I guess he was talking about somebody else that had performed fellatio on another male twice, but then decided it wasn't for him. He didn't like the taste. Which I was like, oh, so the taste is what did it for you, huh? Not the fact that it was a whole penis in your mouth. Okay. But he was saying, but just because a guy does that doesn't mean he's gay. I was like, what? Say what? What you mean?
Let's dig into it, right? Okay.
He did.
He sucked the once, right? Mm-hmm. And then he's like, I'm not sure if I liked it or not.
Let me try it again.
Let me try it again. And then he says, you know what? It's not for me. Don't like the taste. You see what I'm saying? So
Don't like the taste.
We not talking about chicken. We talking about chicken.
Well, you know what? I don't know how you-
Chicken
I don't know how
in his
you-
jaw.
How you made a bar out of chicken and
Because she's
chicken.
an artist at heart. Yeah. It's natural. It comes natural.
But it doesn't mean he's gay. It means he sucked twice.
Okay. So just for the sake of your argument, that's okay.
I'm sorry, but there is no straight heterosexual man that I know that would go down on another man and just just casually do it and be like, they're not gay. Like, what? No, that's not how that works, Tank. I don't know where you were trying to go with that. I don't know if you were just trying to appeal to a certain group of people. I don't know, but come on, bro. Like, you know better than that, okay? That's not... Heterosexual men don't do that. They don't do that, okay? Lord, it's just so much craziness right now. And I don't know, just all the blurring of sexuality. And I know some people say gender identity and sexuality and all that is very fluid and blah, 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 which I'm like, I feel like when you're straight, you're straight. There is no fluidity in that. Okay? When you're gay, you're gay. There's no fluidity in that. Now, for all this, the non-binary or non-binary and the non-gender conforming and all that, I'm sorry, that stuff is confusing as hell to me. I think they're confused. No shade. But anyway, it's just too much, guys. It's too much. Like, you know, that's why I mess with the gays, because the gays, they know what they are. Like, they're very aware of the fact that they are men, but they like men. Or the women, they know that the women, and they like women. It's not so confusing. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this topic down below, guys. And, you know, I had someone say to me on my last video where I talked about trans people, they said something along the lines of, you seem so woke in all your other videos, but in this video you seem so, what was the word they used? Like, was it narrow-minded? I don't know, something along those lines. And you guys, it's not that I'm trying to be narrow-minded or not understanding of, you know, what the different members of the LGBTQ plus community go through, but I gotta call the BS out when I see it. I'm sorry, I just have to. And that includes some of the BS the trans people especially are trying to push. Like, if you do not identify with the gender that you were biologically born as, that's fine. That is totally fine. But don't try to change facts, okay? Just don't try to change facts. That's all my thing is, okay? That's it. So, all right, that is it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Hopefully this doesn't offend anyone, because again, my point is never to try and offend, but I gotta call out the BS. So, all right, leave your comments down below, and I will check you guys in the next video. Bye.